Last night I went to the BMX track with my boys and, well, I nearly died. In all seriousness, no, I didn't nearly die. Feel like I'm nearly dead with my fractured, broken ribs, but I'm still here. So, you know. But seriously, a helmet. Wearing a helmet's something I don't always do. And for some reason, I chose to wear a full face helmet when I was riding yesterday. And I've got to say, that did definitely save my life. I hit the ground real hard on my head. Landed on my chest and my head. As you can see, my arm, my leg as well. And if I hadn't been wearing that full face helmet, then I think there's a damn good chance I wouldn't be here. So what happened? Well, I was doing stupid stuff, showing off, trying to do a jump and not paying attention. And yeah, well, the rest is history. I went to hospital because I felt like I had my ribs poking something. And I just sneezed before and wow, it was insanely painful. Anyway, drove my boys home, went to hospital. They did an ECG, blood test, an ultrasound, and x-rays on my ribs, and they found that a couple of my ribs are broken. Something I just have to deal with, nothing I can do anything about it. But before I left, I took a video of myself about to pull out the needle from my arm here. And I've done this many times before when the doctors leave and say, see you later, and they forget, and I've pulled it out before. And anyway, I pulled it out, and I pulled it out, and it just kept on coming. It was the biggest needle I've ever seen. And when I pulled it all the way out, the blood just spurted to the other side of the room. It was crazy. You can see in the video, I had to pause it because the blood was just squirting everywhere. I took my hospital gown off, put it over my arm, stopped the blood from bleeding, and eventually got that under control. It was a bit crazy though. But anyway, I've got to say here, thanks to wearing a full face helmet, my head isn't a mess, or I'm not dead, and I was going pretty fast. So that's my tip. Pro tip, if you're going to be an idiot like me, try and ride a bike with your boys and go too fast and try and do jumps and stuff you probably shouldn't be doing when you're 40 years old. Wear a helmet. On that note, you know what? Riding a bike, aside from the dangers, it's a good thing to do. And I've got to say, I've been riding an e-bike lately, an electric mountain bike, and it's been amazing. I bought a Merida E160, cost about $7,000, pretty expensive. And I was sort of umming and ahhing, should I buy it, shouldn't I buy it? It's a lot of money. Some of my friends have bought them and they've been saying, come on, you got to get one. And I finally pulled the trigger. And I've been on a few big rides on the e-bike since. And I've got to say, I would not go back to a normal mountain bike because it's not like you don't have to pedal. You do have to pedal, and I've definitely felt like I've gotten some really good workouts in. But it's made it so much more fun. Really, I highly recommend getting an e-bike if you can, especially for mountain biking. Road cycling, not so necessary. I did road cycling racing. I raced on a road bike for about 5 years, did triathlons as well. And I think on the road, you can get a really lightweight bike and you can really climb hills without, a whole lot of training. You can still enjoy it. Mountain biking, on the other hand, I find the difference between riding a mountain bike that's unpowered versus one that's powered is huge. I even felt like going down hills and going over big ruts, the heavier bike was able to absorb the shock better. So I'm going to put up some videos of my next mountain bike trip. Got some big trips planned. Show you guys my e-bike. I'll show you the specs on it, show you why I think it's good, the things that I think are bad, the things that I think are good. And I'm going to give you, some recommendations on what I think are some options that you could go for if you're going to get an e-bike and what you should do to it once you get it. Because I think there is some things that you should do to them. Well, one thing in particular, which is removing the restriction. That to me, it kind of removes some of the fun. But that's something I recommend. I'll show you how you can do that as well. But thanks for watching, my friends. Thanks for supporting, and thanks to the Patreon supporters. I really appreciate what you guys do. See you again.